Wake up,
East Texas,
the news is here.
your hometown,
Your stories,
every day.
the 936
Independent,
local.
essential.
And good morning, Deep East Texas, and happy Friday. I'm Greg Weatherby, and this is the 936 Morning Brief for Friday, August the 28th, and we made it to the end of another week, and we got plenty to talk about this morning, including new details in the Lufkin Flock camera investigation, our continuing look at what it's going to cost to live in Lufkin next year, and the city of Lufkin's proposed budget, and of course, the return of Friday night football. That's exciting stuff right there. But first, let's get started by recognizing the folks who make the show possible. The 936 Morning Brief is brought to you by Commercial Bank of Texas, locally committed, community-focused, and ready to help you with your banking needs. And they've been doing that for 125 years. And before we get too deep into what we're going to be talking about this morning, I want to take a minute for something personal. Let's pop this picture up here. The 936 would like to wish Dr. Gessapina Bonner a very happy 80th birthday. That is coming up on Sunday. Dr. Bonner has been a pillar of this community for many years, and she's also someone I'm proud to call my friend. So, Dr. Bonner, from all of us here at the 936 and everybody in this community, happy 80th birthday. And if you happen to see her out and about, and she's always out and about over the next few days, be sure to wish Dr. Bonner the very, very best. All righty, and happy birthday, Dr. Bonner. Hope you have a great weekend. Let's talk about the Living Well Expo right quick. We're getting closer to the Living Well Expo. It's coming up on Tuesday, September the 15th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. That's going to be at the Pittsburgh Garrison Convention Center here in Lufkin. We're bringing together local businesses and organizations focused on health, wellness, financial well-being, senior services, and simply living a better life here in Deep East Texas. And remember, admission is completely free to the public. So mark your calendars for September 15th. And come on out and spend some time with us and see what your local businesses and organizations have to offer. And we are still accepting sponsorships and booths. Reach out to Peggy Rains, that's Prains, at the936.com, and she will get you taken care of. All right, let's look at some headlines this morning. And the headlines for the 936 Morning Brief are brought to you by Lufkin Jewelry on the Square, your hometown destination for beautiful jewelry, personal service, and something special for every occasion. Our first story this morning is another development in the investigation of the involving a former Lufkin police officer, Zachary Klein, and his alleged use of the city's Flock license plate reader system. We took the 100 felony counts in Klein's indictment and started looking more closely at the people whose vehicles were, prosecutors say, were repeatedly searched. And a pretty significant pattern emerged. 78 of those 100 counts involved just 5 people, and those 5 people are connected through a web of family and personal relationships. Elton Reuter Reese is named 18 times in the indictment. His vehicle was searched 18 times. His daughter Kesley Reese is named in 16 of those charges. Tristan Dixon is also named in 16, while Tammy Holly and Christy Sullivan are reached in each were named 14 times. Kelsey Reese is the daughter of Elton Reese, and Tammy Holly, who was formerly married to Elton Reese and Tammy Holly were formerly married. Kelsey Reese also was previously in a relationship with Klein and is now in a relationship with Dixon. Dixon shares a child with Sullivan. Now, that's important context, but it's also important to be clear about what we don't know. The indictment doesn't tell us why Klein allegedly searched these particular vehicles. It doesn't accuse any of the people mentioned in the indictment for any wrongdoing, and it doesn't say the relationships were the reason for the searches. And Klein has not been convicted, and an indictment is not an accusation, not evidence of guilt. But those relationships add another important piece to that case, and still has some pretty big questions to be answered. So we'll why were these particular people alleged to have been searched? You can read more on this story at the936.com. Our second story is part of a much bigger project we're working on at the 936. What will it cost you to live in Lufkin in 2027? We're starting with property taxes, and one of the most important things to understand is that simply looking at whether a tax rate goes up or down doesn't necessarily tell you whether your tax bill is going up or down. For a typical homestead property inside Lufkin ISD and the city of Lufkin, you've generally got four major taxing entities involved: the city, the Angelina County, Angelina College, and Lufkin ISD. Then you've got different exemptions, different taxable values, and changes in appraisals. The city of Lufkin, for example, has set a maximum proposed rate of 55 cents per 100 taxable value. While it's calculated, no new revenue rate is at 49.9 cents. That doesn't mean the city will ultimately adopt the 55-cent rate, but it is one of the numbers we're watching. Once all of these local taxing entities finalize their rates, we're going to do all the math. We'll calculate the estimated tax bills, and representative of Lufkin homes valued at $150,000, $250,000, and $400,000, and apply the appropriate standard exemptions to show you how where your money actually goes. And property taxes are only the beginning. We'll also be examining the water, sewer, garbage rates, electricity, and homeowners insurance and rent. The question we're trying to answer is pretty simple. Is Lufkin becoming more expensive to call home? And if so, by how much? You can read the first installment now on the936.com. And speaking of your money, there's another story we want you to be on the watch out for. We're digging into the city of Lufkin's proposed 2027-28 budget. We're going through the numbers and looking at where the city expects its money to come from, where it plans to spend it, and what stands out in the proposed budget. We're going to break those numbers down into something that's actually useful and understandable, because ultimately this is public money and you ought to be able to see where it's going. So keep an eye on the 936.com and the 936 social media pages for that story. All right, now let's take a look at some weather. The 5-day forecast is brought to you by Abel's Gaslight Pharmacy, hometown pharmacy serving the people who know and care about the community they serve. We're starting Friday morning clear and humid in Lufkin. I see some sunshine starting to poke out there. Although it's 76 degrees, the humidity is making it feel closer to 81. So let's take a look at the next 5 days. Today will be a high of 97, low of 75, with a 20% chance of rain. Saturday, tomorrow, as we start the weekend, high of 96, low of 74, with another 20% chance of rain. Sunday, as we close out the weekend, we'll see a high of 96, low of 73, another 15% chance of rain as we head back to work on Monday. High of 96, low of 73, with another 15% chance of some showers. And Tuesday, high of 92. It's hard to believe we're excited about a high of 92. That actually sounds pretty good. Low of 74 with the 15% chance of rain. So we're still looking at a hot weekend, but at least there's a little relief showing up by Tuesday. All right, now let's take a look at some sports. And the sports are brought to you by Carpets by Curiosity, your local source for flooring that can transform any room in your home or business. If you've been waiting for Friday night lights, the wait is over. Tonight is opening night for high school football across our area. With Lufkin, Nacogdoches, Diboll, and Huntington all kicking off their 2026 seasons. And we got a big one tonight right here in Lufkin. The Lufkin Panthers host the Longview Lobos tonight at Abe Martin Stadium with kickoff set for 7:30. That's a pretty big test right out of the gate for the Panthers. Longview has long been one of the stronger programs in East Texas. So we'll be taking an early look at what is going on and what this year's team can do. Just up the road, the Nacogdoches Dragons are also at home hosting the Nacogdoches Dragons, the Nacogdoches the Nacogdoches Dragons, are hosting the Athens Hornets. I'm just all confused this morning at Dragon Stadium. That one kicks off at 7:30. The Diboll Lumberjacks, I got that one right, open the season on the road tonight against the Troop Tigers. Kickoff is set in Troop for 7:30. And then Huntington Red Devils travel to Uvalde to take on the Rebels. That game gets underway at 7 o'clock. And, of course, we're already looking ahead for next Friday. That's when Lufkin and Nacogdoches review one of East Texas's oldest rivalries, with the Dragons coming to Abe Abe Martin Stadium for a 7:30 kickoff. But first, we've got opening night. So whether you're headed to Abe Martin, Dragon Stadium, Troop, or Evaldi, good luck to our local teams, players, coaches, bands, cheerleaders, and everyone who makes Friday night football in East Texas what it is. And it's something great. So that's the morning brief for the 936 morning brief this morning for Friday, August the 28th. Keep up with us throughout the day on the 936.com and the 936 social media pages for the latest news and updates around our community. Folks, have a great Friday. Enjoy the football tonight. Have a safe weekend, and we will see you right back here on Monday morning. I'm Greg Weatherby, and this is the 936. Take care, y'all. Bye.